You heard the reservations from one of the biggest unions in the country. Anything in there that you agree with?
Well, I share his desire. If he wanted restrictions to get at some point, so I guess there's a bit of agreement there. But I don't agree with him, and I think now is a good time to remove them. I think we've got an effective vaccine that is working. I think we have and I think at some point we have to make a decision to go back to normal. Why not now? And I think if not now, when?
Okay. Do you believe the science behind this, or do you believe it's driven by politics, Tom?
No, I think it's been driven by a desire to get back to normal and a desire and a realisation of all the consequences of restrictions and consequences of lockdowns. That's what I believe it's driven by. It's driven by what's best for people's livelihoods and mental well-being. But ultimately, the key thing is what's the end result. The end result is the ending of restrictions, and I think that is a good thing.
But that would be the end result based on what we understand the Prime Minister is going to say later, and of course, this will come into effect, I understand, on Thursday. But as a serving representative, would you be more satisfied if you could see the science behind that? Labour are saying, look, we need to see some data to back up the Prime Minister's decision. On the face of it, that's not an unreasonable request.
Well, the data is that at the moment, the number of people ending up in hospital with COVID is at very low levels. The NHS is not under significant pressure as a result of COVID. I think that's the important data. There needs to be an incredibly strong justification to start introducing state decrees on how we live our lives. And I think it's right to get back to personal responsibility. And I know that I know what you said at the start, but we shouldn't be thanking politicians for this. It's something we should expect. And
absolutely.
I sympathise with that view, but I have to say that we are leading the world when it does come to this. So I don't want to compare ourselves with other countries which are really in a bad place on this. I've just come back from Canada. I was in Canada.
You made it back as well. They didn't lock you up for being some kind of agitator.
But I was skiing in Canada, and I've come back just about in one piece. But we honestly, to get into the country, there's about 4 different forms I had to fill in, all asking exactly the same questions. There's still rule of 6 in hospitality, face masks everywhere. They're in a very different place with COVID than we are. So yes, I take your point that we shouldn't be thanking anyone for giving us our liberties back, but at the same time, I think we've got to be realistic about where we are compared to other countries, and that's in a much better position. And I think that a lot of that, to be fair, the Prime Minister deserves some credit for that. I think if
he wouldn't want as his legacy were a bit better than Trudeau, though, would he? I think he would.
And I've said that. I rebelled on Plan B.
I remember.
And some people said to me, "Well, look, even if that's introduced, we're still so much better than other countries. Surely you should be satisfied with that." And I said, "Well, look, we're Britain. We shouldn't compare ourselves. We are. If we think something is wrong, it's wrong. Why would we do it?" And we should look to set an example as a country in terms of charting the right course of action. And I believe that we're doing that today. And I remember, we do need to start exercising personal responsibility. We don't want to have people repeatedly self-isolating for an illness which they're protected against, but is of very little threat to their health. It makes no sense whatsoever. So it's better in terms of addressing educational disruption. Good news, I think.
All right, Tom, thank you. Tom Hunt is the Conservative MP for Ipswich.